In the last 6 years, sport has offered a prism to men and women in Odisha, government and others to make a difference to society. Inspired by the vision and guidance of the Chief Minister Shri Naveen Patnaik, Odisha is invested in using sport to showcase the state in front of the world. Odisha has led the way in creating infrastructure of the very highest global standard, which has subsequently helped and continues to help our athletes in trying to be the best they can and prepare the best for global competitions. The CM, a sports lover and one who played hockey while growing up, believes that sport has the power to unite and help bring about positive change. He is committed to reviving the glory days of hockey and make India a superpower again. He wants to see our men and women, boys and girls on the podium, and that's what he has repeatedly harped on in every conversation. In colonial India, it was hockey which had given us a voice. It was an arena where India played and beat the British and made a statement to the world. Beating Germany in front of Adolf Hitler in Berlin in 1936 or beating Great Britain in London in 1948 are huge nationalist moments in our history. These wins tell a story of what India was capable of. In fact, the multiple Olympic gold medals won between 1928 and 1964 are proof of Indian dominance. And yet, between 1984 and 2021, India did not win a single Olympic medal in the sport. That's what Odisha wants to change. And it happened in Tokyo for the men after 41 years. The women too were close, having stunned world champions Australia in the quarterfinal, and were unlucky in the end. As the Chief Minister says, such change can only come about if we back our teams with infrastructure, coaching, and monetary support.
Hockey in Odisha is more than a sport. It's a way of life.
Guided by this belief, Odisha decided to sponsor the teams, both men and women, first for 5 years.
Odisha takes this historic step to support and sponsor the Indian hockey teams, men and women, for the next 5 years. This is Odisha's gift to the nation.
And have now renewed it for a further 10. There is also the infrastructure through the high performance and grassroots centers, which are all focused on fitness and skill development and offer the best coaching in partnership with the corporates who have experience in the domain. As we work on this documentary, the Indian men's team is ranked number 3 in the world and is capable of taking on and beating any European side. We have won the Asian Champions Trophy and the Asian Games gold and are poised to do well in the Paris Olympics.
Many congratulations to our hockey team. The whole of India is so excited, as is Odisha, of course. We are all behind you and we wish you all the very best.
That's where Odisha seeks vindication. While the policymakers won't go out there and play, what they will do is ensure that our teams are the fittest and prepare the best and are also the best equipped to face the challenges head on. By creating the Birsa Munda Stadium, the world's best hockey stadium with a capacity of 23,000, Odisha has made a statement. It is the home of world and Indian hockey, and it houses the best facilities for the sport. When Indian teams train in Rourkela, they have access to the best templates that sports science can offer, and we can see the impact in the improved fitness of both our men's and women's teams. Also, none of the facilities are restricted to the senior programs. Rather, the emphasis is on the sub-juniors and juniors, for they are the ones who will graduate into the senior program in the next 5 years. In 2022-23, Odisha has produced its best ever performance in the nationals for sub-juniors and juniors, and each of the junior teams have access to modern technology, including the use of GPS for fitness and skill development. The Chief Minister was clear in his mandate. Odisha will do everything possible to help the sport. And that's what has been done. Odisha now proudly houses the Birsa Munda Stadium and the adjoining World Cup village with quality residential facilities. Has upgraded the Kalinga Stadium and made it one of the best in the world. Set up the Hockey High Performance Centre with the Tatas and recruited David John, one of the best high performance directors in the world, as the man in charge.
And hockey has changed significantly since 2016 when the game went from 2 by 35 minutes to 4 by 15 minutes. The game is significantly faster than it was 20 years ago.
The changes are already noticeable. Players from Odisha are breaking into the national programs, both junior and senior, and some, like Sunalita Topo, is already being hailed as the next major Indian hockey star. While the world knows Odisha for hockey, it is no longer restricted to just one sport. The state has made giant strides in athletics, weightlifting, sports science, shooting, swimming, and rugby, and most recently football, with the commitment to build the FIFA Academy, which was signed during the visit of Arsene Wenger to India. In Odisha, it is not just talk. The CM has often asked what's the best way to showcase commitment to sport. And the best way to do so is by allocating serious monies for sport in the state budget. Today, the amount of money earmarked is touching 1,300 crores. That's a 30-fold jump compared to what it was a decade and a half earlier. With the state taking the lead, it is natural that corporate partners look at Odisha as sincere and committed, and have all stepped forward in working together for the cause of Indian sport. The public-private partnership, which is at the core of the Odisha model, has now evolved into a successful template, which is being replicated in other parts of the country. With a vision that has the athlete at its core, results have started to show. The rise of Kishore Jaina in men's javelin, the presence of multiple players from Odisha in the Indian women's rugby team, growing representation in the men's and women's national programs for hockey, consistent improvement in weightlifting and athletics are all indicative of progress in the right direction. However, it is not just about elite sport, can never be. Not more than 1% people will make it to the national teams. Rather, the vision is always guided by the principle of sport for all and sport for development. You don't need to be a national level athlete to access the facilities. Such a policy ends up being restrictive and is an obstacle for all-round development. Guided by the principle of sports for all, Odisha has made the Birsa Munda Stadium accessible for the local people for a large part of the year. The government has opened hundreds of grassroots centres in every part of the state with state-of-the-art indoor stadiums so that people never feel stifled by the lack of opportunity. Playing sport is a kind of lifestyle change that the government has tried to bring about in the state. A fitter India will always be a better India, and that's what we have seen in Odisha. There have been many challenges on the way, and there will be many more in the future. Odisha for the longest time was not the favoured destination for the best professionals to come and work. They would prefer cities like Delhi, Mumbai or Bengaluru. Now things are changing. From young management students to already established professionals, all realize that Odisha is a hotbed of opportunity. According to a recent report published by the RBI, Odisha is now a favoured investment destination, and the way the state has been looked upon in the past is changing at breakneck speed. Indian sport is on the cusp. If recent trends are anything to go by, Indian stars are now winning medals in almost every international competition across sport, or at least coming close. And this includes both able-bodied and para-sports. In hockey, we are now in the world's top 3 teams. Badminton has seen a sea change in the last decade. The table tennis effort isn't bad either. Boxing, both men and women, have started to look up, and shooting too is on an upswing. Athletics has been the shining light, with many national records rewritten in the last few months. Football is seeing a wave of support come its way, and in chess, India has turned a new leaf with its golden generation. The fundamental reason why this is now a reality is because there's a lot of money in sport. Odisha, for example, with direct intervention from the Chief Minister, has made sport a priority for the government, and the results have started to show. To close with a story from where we started. The Asian Athletics Championships in 2017. Just 36 hours before the start, which marked the start of the sports journey in Odisha, it started to rain incessantly in Bhubaneswar. The last-minute preparations were badly impacted, and organizers had to cancel the dress rehearsals for the opening ceremony. Each one was nervous. In the words of Vinil Krishna, and I quote, "We were all praying for the rains to relent so that we could get on with the show." With enormous work already done, We needed this to happen. And it did. Miraculously, the rain stopped and it all went ahead smoothly.
I declare the 22nd Asian Athletics Championships open.
So much so, the competition was hailed as the best ever, with India topping the medals tally. The Doha organizers, who were to host the next edition of the competition, were in awe, and it felt like the ultimate vindication of sorts. Little did we know that it was just the start. Today, when we look at the Odisha sports story, it seems a journey worth the effort.
It's fantastic to watch it live. Amazing.
This is Shania meeting. Hashtag Odisha. Odisha.
But then, it is also a reminder. It tells us what we can do as a collective and how it can help India make a mark in the global sporting amphitheatre. To go back to the words of the Honourable Chief Minister one final time, and I quote, "Sport for youth and youth for future." That's the Odisha sports story. One of optimism, aspiration and hope. Most importantly, an attempt to make a difference to India. Make it a better India, an India we all can be proud of.
Bande Utkal Janani. Jai Hind.